Hello everyone and welcome to Cinderful Gaming. In today's video we're going to take a look at some of my initial likes and dislikes about what we've seen for the new edition of Warhammer Age of Sigmar. I'd love to hear your likes and dislikes as well, so please drop a comment down below and let us know your initial thoughts about 4th edition in the comments as well. Today's video is sponsored by Gap Games, a fantastic miniature wargaming store in Queensland, Australia. They stock a wide variety of miniature wargames from all things Games Workshop to some of my personal favourites, Conquest of the Last Argument of Kings, and all things Modifius wargames as well. Use our affiliate code in the link below to help support both this fantastic store and the channel as well. Number 1, starting us off, is the very first thing we were shown about the new edition, the Force Organisation. I really like the more open and flexible system, which still maintains a strong narrative cohesion amongst it. In the new edition, you make forces by taking a hero and picking 1 to 3 different units to go with them that are thematically tied to the characters. You will get to pick 4 units though if this character you're picking for with units is your general. The Force Organisation is similar to other popular and well-working systems from Games Workshop's own Middle-earth strategy battle game or Conquest of the Last Argument of Kings by Parabellum. The second thing I've liked are the changes to priests in the new edition. I really like that they've made an attempt to make them substantially different between how priest and wizard works in the new edition. Priests now chant points over a series of turns to either get regular sort of prayers off or more powerful versions of them. This multi-turn chanting and boosted effect just sets them apart from the standard 2d6 casting of wizards, where priests before were just a 1d6 cast wizard essentially. Next is Spearhead. Age of Sigmar 3rd edition really struggled with getting new players in. Spearhead is an all-in-one box with all the models and rules you need to play with this game mode either free or included in the box. This hopefully will be a way to engage new players, but not only like that, with Combat Patrol as well in 40k, it'll give people a new way to collect armies. Instead of going deep into one army, they can spread themselves out wide and collect lots of different Vanguard box sets instead. Number 4 is Games Workshop started posting an article where they talked about the different unit types and races within the setting having different base stats, such as humans having a 4+ to hit and wound. One of the things I've always really disliked about 3rd edition, especially as it got more deep into the edition, was how everything ended up being hitting and wounding on 2s. Having more things hit and miss and allowing the dice to swing a battle with good or bad rolls is why I like playing a dice game, and also it thematically sets all the different races apart. Finally, number 5 is terrain. We've had a lot of different terrain rules over the course of the lifespan of Warhammer Age of Sigmar, and while honestly I didn't mind random mysterious terrain rules or the realm rules we'd gotten in a few different generals' handbooks or malign sorcery, the new terrain rules do have a lot more structure and importance to terrain in the game rather than just having them be some sort of ability source with a radius around them. On to the dislikes though, and number 1 of these, my first and without a doubt most vehement dislike, is battle tactics. With the new edition in match play as a sort of main focus, I don't mind the ones that are coming in Spearhead. Battle tactics have pretty much remained virtually unchanged, which is just strange to me as they were one of the most disliked things by pretty much the entire community. While book battle tactics are gone, which is a massive positive it should be said, the Grand Alliance ones honestly aren't much better. All in all, I think they're just not a good system for secondaries. I prefer to see something maybe into the objectives or see the random card mechanic brought in from Spearhead. So I'm pretty sure I'll be probably disregarding them in nearly all my games. Number 2, battle formations. Now, the new style of subfactions are next, and while I'm not against the idea of having subfaction rules, the implementation of them with early articles especially saying that they were going to be more playstyle themed seems to have not been overly true. With many of the ones shown off so far, with obviously more to come still, just at this point I'm not very happy with them. There are definitely ones that are better than the others, with Cities of Sigmar definitely looking like something sort of spanning the whole army, but other ones that are showing that giving, benefits to just specific units or very limited special units. Much rather see these have a generic rule to the whole force and maybe giving a secondary sort of more potent buff to the particular units if they want to go down that way. Number 3 is maybe a more personal thing. But honestly, I don't like terrain maps, and while I understand the usefulness of these in a competitive environment, I just don't like them. This is where I enjoy the mysterious terrain tables rolling off to see what types of terrain and benefits are where, and then choosing sides and deploying based on those abilities we're going to have. A small gripe for sure, but just not something I personally enjoy, and I do hope these stay in competitive play and don't make their way into the more sort of casual audience. Number 4, recursion mechanics. A thing I'm honestly not a fan of for a while in Age of Sigmar is the recursion mechanics. I really disliked Rally, even though I do have videos of me rolling 5/6s on 5 dice. I do not like that this is a thing in the game. I think obviously certain armies should get this, most notably death armies, but I'd even like to see this restricted in what death armies can use this on. I think this is something we see all too much of in the game, and I'd like to see it dialed back even further than what we've already seen. Number 5 is Vampire Lords. Okay, my last point here, it's not specifically about Vampire Lords, but they may be a perfect example of what I'm going to talk about here. Small characters don't really feel like the brave and mighty heroes we read about in the narrative or lore, and even their little blurbs on their war scrolls. While certainly some do fill the support role and character sort of leading from the back, or general sort of leading their army from the back, many feel like they should be in the thick of the fighting. We've seen a few different foot characters, and most notable the Vampire Lord, which when you compare it to what it was in Warhammer Fantasy and what it is in Warhammer the Old World, it's an absolute beast. It honestly just feels underwhelming. I'd like to see more of the foot characters really sort of push that level and go to the levels of things in 3rd edition, like we saw with the Light of Eltharion and Gotrek and stuff like that, and have these little 5-wing characters be absolute murder houses. And so, I hope this video was helpful in maybe giving you some of our own insights into the new edition of Warhammer Age of Sigmar, and we'd like to hear your own thoughts and initial ideas about the new edition of Age of Sigmar down in the comments below. If you have any other questions or thoughts, drop a comment down below, and while you're there, don't forget to drop a like, subscribe, and join our Discord server to check out all our future Warhammer Age of Sigmar content.